It's currently 11:25 p.m. Not too long ago, Dad prepared and cooked this Boboli pizza with sausage and hot dogs cut up, and some pepperoni too. It was around noon when I had a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, bagel sandwich, with my second cup of coffee, plain coffee for today. If I recall correctly, I woke up around 10. And got up about half an hour later. I did what I usually do these days, which is to try to go to bed around midnight. Though for some reason I wasn't able to fall asleep until about 3 in the morning. Most likely due to not having enough sleep pressure. The day before, I ended up sleeping for 9 hours. Continuing a trend of doing so for at least a few days. About a few days. At first I figured I wasn't able to fall asleep due to the fact that this room was somewhat warm, even with the fan on. As of now, with the windows open, both of them, I would say it's about room temperature. Over the past few hours, till now, I had a aluminum can of Wegmans brand kombucha spritzer ginger, honey, lemon flavor, if I recall correctly. Around 1 in the morning today, I moved from up here to down to the basement floor. With the blanket I use for falling asleep. And use that as a mattress. Because I figure that the basement would be cooler than the upstairs room at the time, and it was. It was still comfortable even with just the blanket mattress. Then I felt maybe it wouldn't be a good idea to go to bed without a mattress for support. So then I moved to the ground floor to try falling asleep on Dad's couch. The couch in the living room. But I didn't really have any success there. It was warmer than the basement at the time, but still cooler than that upstairs room. Though the couch didn't allow for much freedom in terms of sleep position, so I moved back up to the upstairs room, and by that point, I would say it was around 2:30 at the latest in the morning. And I ended up falling asleep around 3 in the morning. Around 3:30 p.m., I had some leftovers from what Dad made for dinner yesterday. Microwaving them for a total of a minute. 2 30-second sessions. Though for the mashed potatoes, I ended up putting on considerably more gravy than Dad would have. And I skipped including any ketchup with the sausage and chicken. This pizza is pretty good. I cut it not too long ago, which ended up being a bit difficult, but I managed it. With the leftovers, I had a glass of milk, like I'm having right now. Throughout the day, I primarily played DPS Idol. At this time, I've gotten every badge for that game except for the hard badge and the impossible badge for DPS. And I'm getting closer to my first gold card. Gold card with every reset. Though I'm at this point where I'm starting to be limited by the fact that I'm not getting enough spears, as in circles, to meet the cost to make the next card in either the green deck or the blue deck silver. I recall having my usual 2 to 3 cups of coffee. Roughly from 10:30 in the morning to about 1 p.m. 2 p.m. at the latest. I recall roughly from 5 to 9 p.m. working on what's intended to be like one of those holiday wreath balls I've done in the past would be the best way to describe it. This sunflower, it took all that time to do just these petals of this sunflower. And for the whole drawing, I plan on using just the Sharpie markers that are shown here. All ultrafine tips due to the size of this polystyrene ball. It was intended to be a Mother's Day gift for my mom, although And now I'm not going to be able to finish it in time. But hopefully I'll finish it soon so that someday soon so I'll be able to give it to my mom. And I also had plans on making a drawing on another such polystyrene ball to give to Mom's mom. But now I'm not going to have time for that. I also recall doing some work on this polystyrene drawing project primarily during the early to mid to late afternoon hours. Before I started that new polystyrene drawing project on that ball. Here's where I am currently in terms of the task sets for this episodic event. And here's where I am for the current season of joy. Current season of that event. I recall starting to build these sometime in the early to mid-afternoon. Or at least they finished being constructed around that time. Actually, I recall starting to construct these very late yesterday. And these finished in the afternoon being constructed. To complete the previous task set, I started upgrading this marble manufactory to this level in the late afternoon and finished doing so sometime within the last few hours, because I was running this game in the background on a tab and ended up forgetting about it. I'm probably going to, at some point, delete this and build another, replace it with a level 3 marble manufactory, most likely.